So in low power VLSI design, in the last class we discussed introduction regarding VLSI's low power VLSI design. Again, we'll go to some more points. Why regarding why we have to discuss about low power. So due to integration of components increased, the power comes in the power comes in line limit or line limit. So we have to VLSI is nothing but very large scale integration. We are integrating the number of components. That is nothing but millions of transistors we are integrating on a single silicon wafer. So because of that, we need more power. So always applying more power is not possible. That is why we have to reduce the power. It is much important that handheld devices must possess low power devices. Those are nothing but portable devices. Portable devices are operating with low power for better performance. So if you want better performance, we have to operate our devices with a low power. And next is for long run time. So battery time, lifetime should be more. So whenever we are going to purchase one mobile, we have to check about the battery ratings of the battery. So it is MHA, 1000 MHA, okay, 1000 MHA, like that we are checking. Okay, so battery backup we are checking. It may be laptop or mobile. Okay, all those. So these are nothing but power of the battery. We will check how much time it will run. So that is why we have to discuss about low power. Okay, so if the number of components are increasing, the power utilization also increasing. So for more components, we can't able to take more powers. If you want to use more power, we have to carry some additional devices. That is why we have to reduce the power for the portable devices and handheld devices. We have to operate with low power. That is for better performance, and for the better performance, we need batteries, very good batteries. Next is definition. What is power dissipation? Power dissipation, the rate of energy which is taken from the source and converted into heat. That is a power dissipation. Power dissipation, the rate of energy which is taken from the source and converted into heat. For example, if you take your mobile, so in this mobile, we have one inverter or mobile charger. The input is connecting to 230 volts, and our output is 5 volts. So this can be converted into 5 volts DC supply from 230 volts AC supply. So the rate of energy which is taken from the source and converted into heat. So this is the source. From this source we are taking 5 volts, and it can be given to our mobile. If you are using your mobile, some heat will be generated. That is nothing but power dissipation. Okay, the rate of, we have to write this definition, the rate of energy which is taken from the source and converted into heat is nothing but power dissipation. The heat generation in the device is nothing but power dissipation. Simply, types of power dissipations: static power dissipation, dynamic power dissipation. Static power dissipation and dynamic power dissipation. Due to leakage current, some power is leaked by the devices. That is a static power dissipation due to leakage current. And 7, dynamic power dissipation due to switching activities of the transistor. We are using different transistors. It may be PMOS or it may be NMOS. We are using these type of transistors for the construction of any circuit. Okay, in CMOS technology. So because of that, those are connecting from one transistor to another transistor or one device to another device. That is nothing but switching activity. Because of that, the power is absorbed by the transistors and some other components. Whatever the power absorbed due to the switching activities of transistors is nothing but dynamic power dissipation. Simply static power dissipation and dynamic power dissipation. Low power strategies. So here, low power strategy is nothing but how we'll get the low power. That is operating system level, partitioning power down, and software level, architecture level, circuit level, technology level. These are the basic levels: operating level, system level, software level, architecture level, logic level, and technology level. In those, how we'll reduce our power absorption. Partitioning. The big circuit can be converted into different subsystems. Then we can able to reduce the power. Then regularity, locality, and concurrency in software level. Here also we need some power, so that can be reduced by regularity, locality, and concurrency. Next, architecture is pipelining and redundancy data encoding. So in this way, we can reduce power by pipelining. By using this pipelining technique in the architecture level, we can able to reduce our power. And circuit or logic level, logic styles, transistor sizing, and energy recovery. If you want to construct one full adder using MOSFETs, that is a logic level circuit or circuit level. Here we have to reduce the sizes of the transistors. That is a scaling. Okay, so we by using different logic styles and by reducing the size of the transistor, we can able to reduce the power. Similarly, technology based, by using different technologies, we can reduce the power threshold reduction and multi-threshold devices. By using these technology levels, we can able to reduce. This is additional information for you. This is measure. What are the types of power dissipation? Static power dissipation and dynamic power dissipation. Next is low power design space. So low power design space, where we can use low power. Three parts that we can perform low power. Three parts that we can perform low power techniques to reduce the power dissipation. To reduce the power dissipation. For reducing the power dissipation, what we have to do? There are three parts that we can perform low power techniques to reduce the power dissipation. If you are using less power, then power dissipation also less. That is why we are discussing about low power design. So voltage. Previously, we are operating with 5 volts in previous technologies, and then we can convert into 3.5 volts. We are operating with the 3.5 volts. In this way, we are going to reduce the voltage. Then power will low power. We are operating with the low power. Then the power consumption also, or power dissipation also reduces. So one is a voltage, second is a physical capacitance, third is a switching activity. So these are the three major low power techniques. So we are going to reduce the voltage. We are going to check the capacitance. So it may be physical capacitance or internal capacitance in between the source and drain, gate and drain, and so on. And switching activity, interconnections between the transistors and components. There we can able to reduce the power. Voltage we can able to reduce, and physical capacitance reduction or decreasing the power taking for the capacitance, and for the switching activity we are going to reduce the power. Then supply voltage reduction. This is first one. Voltage reduction, capacitance reduction, switching activity reduction. Then we'll get low power. We'll operating with low power. All this is hard to write. Then supply voltage reduction. How we can reduce our supply voltage? in different technologies, we are reducing our supply voltage. Voltage reduction offers an effective means of power reduction. Voltage reduction offers an effective means of power reduction. A factor of 2 reduction in supply voltage yields a factor of 4 decreases in power consumption. If you decrease 2 times of the voltage, and we can able to decrease the 4 times of the power consumption. That is one point we observed by reducing the voltage. If you reduce our voltage 2 times, then power consumption is reduced to 4 times. But the performance is also getting reduced. But here one major drawback is performance also decreasing. To avoid above stated problem, here performance increases, performance decreases. This is a problem. To avoid this problem, threshold voltage should be scaled down. Threshold voltage should be scaled down. Okay, so the threshold voltage also we are going to reduce. For example, my threshold voltage is 0.22 VDD. 0.22 VDD. We can able to reduce this one. Then we can able to get the good performance of the system. First one, voltage reduction. Second is physical capacitance reduction. Physical capacitance. So what we have to do at the physical capacitance, and what is the switching activity? Physical capacitance. Dynamic power consumption depends linearly on the physical capacitance being switched. So in our circuit, we are using some capacitances. Because of these capacitances, there may be some power consumption. Why? Because the capacitor may get charged and discharged. Because of that, there may be some power consumption. So minimizing capacitance offers another technique for minimizing power consumption. Same as the voltage, if you reduce the capacitance value, you can able to reduce the power consumption. Then next, the capacitor can be kept as small by minimum logic, smaller devices, and shorter wires. The capacitance occurs not only physical capacitance but also internal capacitance. Minimum logic, when minimum logic will give less capacitance. Smaller devices. If you are using, if you are scaling our transistors, then if you are using, that is resizing our transistors, if you use those transistors, then capacitance will be less. That is a smaller devices. If you use a smaller devices, the capacitance will be less. And in the same way, shorter wires. The interconnections, we are using our connecting wires. Some wires we are using for the interconnections. If we use short wires, then also capacitance will decrease. Again, I'm saying that the first thing is, if you want to operate with a low power, okay, so if you want to reduce low power, we have to reduce voltage, reduce capacitance, reduce switching activity. So this is a voltage reduction. Next is switching capacitance. So power consumption should be proportional to the capacitance. If capacitance value is more, then we have more power consumption. That is why we have to reduce the capacitance. And in the same manner, we have to, if you want to reduce the capacitance, you can use smaller devices and shorter wires for the interconnections. The last one, switching activity. There are two components to switching activity. Which determines the average periodicity of data arrivals. And next is which determine how many transistors each arrival will generate. This can be reduced by selecting proper algorithms, architecture optimization, proper choice of logic topology, and logic level optimization, which results in less power. Switching activity is due to two components. One is average periodicity of the data arrivals. Okay, for example, if you switch on our device, so how many transistors are on, how many transistors are off? That is a periodicity of data arrivals. How data is coming into the circuit, which one is on, which one is off. Similarly, which determines how many transistors each arrival will generate. Okay, for if you're giving input or if you're sending the data for each arrival, how many transistors are responding that data. That is how many transistors each arrival will generate. Of course, in detail we'll discuss later. This is last one. Then this is reduced by selecting a proper algorithmic architectures. Next is proper logic topology. Switching activity can be reduced by proper algorithms, proper logic topology, and logic level optimization. Okay, low power techniques we will see in the next class. Okay, all of you join entrepreneurship webinar.